1957 Chevrolet Nomad is very, very special because it was one of the show cars that Chevrolet built to go out on the show circuit. They literally took the car off the line as the #2 Nomad being built and made it a show car.
It is the show car that was built in 1956 to show what the 57 Chevy Nomad would look like. It also has the #2 fuel injection unit ever produced.
Fuel injection was just starting out and it really wasn't worked out yet. They couldn't get the engine to run properly with the fuel injection, so they took a race car engine, they put it in the car and then put the fuel injection system on.
This car has one of the Corvette race team motors because the only cars that had fuel injection at that point were race cars. The #1 unit is on the Super Sport Corvette, which is in the show train with this car at New York Auto Show, Detroit Auto Show, Chicago, and Los Angeles. And I was able to get pictures of all the auto shows, and it shows the Nomad with the Super Sport Corvette.
Try 5 Chevys and they made Nomads, 55, 6, and 7. The 55 and 6s were more of a boxy looking car, but then came the 57 model with the fins on the back and all this gold and chrome everywhere, very sleek looking. There was so many different things in 1957, and this car really exemplifies all those changes they were making.
So I was looking for a classic car. I found it in a local 4-page newspaper in Alabama. It had 106,000 miles on it, but it still had the original plastic on the seats from the factory, which is just unheard of. Everything was there, complete car, but just tired, it needed to be restored. The California black plates came with the car, but I didn't know if they were original to the car. I found in the front seat, in the frame, negatives, big square 16mm negatives, and I had them developed and the black plates are on it. And the black plate was from 1972. So I knew it was original black plate.
Everybody wants a California black plate car. California black plate car just adds checks one more box.
I am the second owner, so that's an incredibly rare thing to have with a 57 Chevy.
These cars were running a 283 small block engine. The heads were different and changed to a race car head with all lightened valves, titanium valves.
I have work orders that show that they ordered a spare long block for the Corvette NASA team, and that work order is stamped on the motor. So they ordered that as a spare, just the long block, because they had the #2 unit already polished and ready to go. They just needed a motor to put it on.
Because of that, that's why this car is very special. Of course, being it's the #2 car, that makes it pretty special too. I met Riley through another great friend, Bogey, who's a car girl. Riley was very well known for Riley's Rebuilds.
Hey y'all, it's Riley from Riley's Rebuilds.
When Riley wanted her first car, I want my kids to buy their first cars. So I taught her how to rebuild carburetors as a side hustle.
He put me onto a carburetor that was in the garage, so I started rebuilding that, and then I saved enough money rebuilding that to buy my first car. Riley's Rebuilds was originally created to rebuild carburetors, specifically Edelbrock carburetors, and now we are bringing a bunch of youngings into the garage that don't have the opportunities outside of it.
So her 15-year-old brother, Graham, is now the shop foreman, and he recruited 5 other girls from his class and 2 boys. They come to the garage 2 times a week, and they would spend 2 hours working on the Nomad, and we got it done.
This car in itself has an amazing story. Some of my earliest memories are sand blocking this car or taking tape off the bottom on the creeper, and my dad has done so much research behind it.
The research was almost half the project. The family had to do so much research and making sure that they were doing everything right, and that's what they did. They made it exactly as it was.
It is a complete frame-off restoration. Every nut and bolt has been touched and restored or replaced with something new old stock if possible.
Being able to not only work on it with him, but being able to bring in 7 young ones is so much fun.
That's the best. Being able to carry on what he's taught his daughter, it makes the car's restoration that much more special.
When I spoke to the Mecum folks, they instantly understood the importance of the car. I think the Mecum auction in Kissimmee is the perfect place. It's where their big dollar cars go. I'm so excited for this car to cross the block at Mecum Kissimmee and go to somebody who has so much passion and love for this car just as much as I do.
The family's done a wonderful job restoring it. I know I'm going to be there myself on stage when this car sells. You're not going to want to miss it.